Literally.
See, we don't need alcohol, y'all.
I could use a good rum and coke right about now, actually. So
yeah.
If I step away, that's where I'm going.
Well, if you're heading out to Tulsa, I would have gotten you one.
Matt, dang it.
No Tulsa for me.
Why? Why? Can I whine like a kid? But why?
He is now property of Carrie McGee Enterprises.
Yep.
Well, I do get that. So I know you guys are kicking some butt up there. So that's awesome.
Busy. Look.
Good team.
Look at what's on my desk right now. Insider's Guide to Passing the Washington Real Estate Exam.
I was wondering if you were going to do that.
Washington Real Estate Practices.
Dang, show how thick both of those are. Like how many pages?
Washington Real Estate Fundamentals.
Wow, that puts the fun in fundamental.
Oh my
Right?
goodness.
This is some really exciting stuff here.
That is all the more reason to go to Tulsa. Just for like 2 days.
Well,
wow.
You need to read on the flight. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
You could finish one of those on the plane.
Here's a section on the flow of mortgage funds. Boy, if that doesn't put me to bed, nothing will. Are we live yet?
Yeah,
yes, we are.
Yeah.
16 seconds.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So anyway, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple months.
Awesome.
That looks exciting.
Oh, it's thrill a minute.
It'll be exciting when you get going on it. Oh my God, y'all are going to be a dynasty, like powerhouse of real estate.
That's the plan. We got goals.
Getting rich off real estate.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen.
Best investment there is.
Usually. I've had two that weren't.
Oh, we're live. There it goes. There's the tweet. We are live.
It looks a little different than normal. We'll just give folks.
Is this a podcast of experience? Is that why it looks different?
I think it's more innocence because we don't have the experience yet. It's been 3 months since we've had any sort of experience. Everybody's a little dry. It's been a dry spell. Will there be spoilers? Roland Whodunit is how I want to pronounce it, but I know that's not actually how you say it. His last name. I think we'll have spoilers, right? We'll just announce before we talk spoilers.
Did we?
Yeah, we may as well.
Beth shouts.
Yeah. It's up to you guys. I don't care one way or another.
I'm going to put on the cone of silence. We discussed it already, but I just don't see how that's going to happen. So I'm in for the spoilers at this point.
Fabiano says, how long? I don't see those faces. Sorry to reunite you or whichever.
Hey, Fabiano.
And Beth says...
Is he in the Twitch thing?
Yeah, in the Twitch chat.
Okay.
Beth is shouting at us, hi, Chris and Sherry and Becky and Matt. So.
Who is that?
Beth Nabby, my
Hey, Beth.
benefactor.
I was just looking at her tweet.
Ticket source.
Yeah.
Beth, what other tickets do you have?
See?
Matt has not committed to Tulsa, so whatever we need to do to kidnap him.
That's right. Well, that's right.
Beth's got like the trench coat on. I got your U2 tickets.
She's your connection.
I got behind the stage, and behind the stage.
She'll hook you up.
$41 behind the stage, row R. You in?
Okay. Trying to bring some semblance of order. Chris, we can't see you, so we have no idea what you're doing right now.
I actually just left, so.
That's the thing. I'm thinking like Chris is just walking away.
The viewers.
If the hockey playoffs are on, you've got distractions.
Does that mean that Chris is the best thing about us? Why are you walking away?
Beth says the rear view of Adam will cost you extra.
Oh, Sherry.
Oh, Sherry.
Not bad, but whatever.
No, the Jets won, Penguins won, so it's all good. We can.
So do you consider the Jets? Do you consider the Jets your home team? Are they the closest ones NHL wise?
No, Edmonton, Calgary would be closer, but actually I was born in Winnipeg, and that was the Jets.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
My team. So, but my one son is a Jets fan and my other son is a Penguins fan, so we're hoping for some sort of Jets Penguins finale, but That's a lot of stuff that has to happen. Anyways, welcome to Hockey Night in Canada podcast. Matt will be giving us the play-by-play on the Penguins-Phillies game, and then we'll go over to Sherry for the Bruins.
Yeah, Bruins are tomorrow night.
I don't know if anybody's playing from Texas.
Maple Leafs.
Well, in Houston, we do have the Astros.
Yeah.
So we could talk about them.
Oh, that's just baseball.
Matt's like, Matt, really? Really, Matt?
Why is this? Can we not talk sports?
We don't have to. But you started it. Or Chris did.
This is sort of the stuck in the moment football video, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Bringing it back to you two, baby. Come on.
Bringing it
it's
back.
Score season. Bring it back.
I give up.
Why?
On that note, let's start the podcast.
You guys do the podcast. I'm going to do some light real estate reading here.
Okay.
I should tally up the pages.
Hold up
shouldn't
how
I?
thick that book is. Just the side of it.
This is the thin one. This is the thinnest of the three. This
Like I was telling the other
is-
two before you got here, Matt, you will not hear any of the soundboard stuff either tonight. I don't have that all connected, but so I won't. I won't tell you if I do play it, I guess.
Goodness. It's
But
like we're not even doing a podcast.
The theme is going to start now. I'll tell you that much, anyways, and then we'll do the intro. So here we go. Hello, welcome to the At YouTube podcast number 79. In case you've forgotten that we even exist, we are still here. I am joined for this episode by Matt McGee, Sherry Lawrence. Sorry. And as I'm doing this, I'm realizing I don't actually know if I know all your last names by heart because I just see your Slack usernames. Becky. We'll just go in descending order of last name. Matt gets his
Well,
full
Becky
and-
just got married, so
Oh,
so then we
right.
need to know if Becky kept her last name or took
Well,
her husband. Are we
I'm
allowed to- are we
keeping
allowed to
Myers
talk-
for now. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were allowed to talk about that. Is that a
Well,
spoiler?
you just let the cat out of the bag. You just spoiled. Honestly,
That's
I'm
the first
Should
of
we restart?
spoilers. Yeah.
social media, but now everybody knows. Thank you. Okay.
Okay,
That's cool.
I should have asked if it was okay to mention that.
Hey, you did what Bono did to Adam and with his son.
That's right, exactly.
it's
and
okay.
Adam's your boy, so.
He is. Well, no.
So I missed you guys in the crosstalk there. Are we actually restarting, or are we good to keep going? Is that okay to have that
It's a
podcast
gift
or
that
no?
keeps on giving.
Keep going.
Okay. All right. We're a little rusty in case you can't tell. It's been a little while. In a little while, we recorded the podcast. I think last in January or something like that, back in winter. But it's still winter as I look outside, so we're gonna keep recording. So,
Chris, it's all your fault too, right?
I know.
Can we just?
Yeah, I blame Mexico actually, just like you two and their Pop Mart stopped. They had some issues in Mexico. I had some internet issues in Mexico, and so we couldn't record podcasts.
Yeah.
I'll blame
Chris was in Mazatlan long enough that he qualified and was appointed to the city council.
Or,
You're just still bitter over
or something like that.
you losing the mayorship or
I
whatever
am,
it was.
yes, I am still very, very upset about not being the Cancun CEO.
CEO,
Dude, so.
yeah. All right, but
So I'm going
besides
to be vacationing in Hawaii from now on. You can have Mexico. It's all yours.
besides all that, we are going to actually talk about U2 stuff, not just
Oh, really?
vacation plans and or lack thereof.
I'm
so-
not prepared to talk about you two.
We before we get going, there's a few just miscellaneous items of note. The one big one, if you're listening to this, you probably will also be interested in hearing about the At U2 news brief, which is a short, 2 to 5 minutes long, daily-ish, to quote my own other podcast, but news brief on U2 news that the At U2 crew is doing. So. There's a few different places you can find it, but the main one would be anchor.fm/ATU2, and then we'll have other links as appropriate. So it's not like a compressed version of this show. It's a separate entity of its own where we basically just highlight one or two kind of news stories, right? What? Anything I'm missing with the...
Yeah, I mean, the idea is it's for people that have the connected devices in their home primarily. So it's, if you have the Amazon devices or a Google Home or, oh gosh, now they're all firing up because I just said their names.
Hey Alexa,
Awesome.
play the @U2 Daily News Brief.
So if you have one of these devices here, and you use them to get your news, now you can get U2 news as well. It's kind of dailyish. It's whenever there's enough to talk about it. It'll run a minute, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever, as much as we need to get it. It won't be like long form like this, that's for sure.
Right. It's scripted to the point, no extraneous information, no extra babbling from any one of us. So
exactly.
You can now have your choice, I guess, if you want the hour-long version of of U2 News, then tune into this show, or the brief version, then go to that one. So, but yeah, it's a cool way to sort of get. I think daily podcasts are the rage right now. It's sort of the popular thing, and so we're jumping on that bandwagon, I guess.
It's just, I mean, it's really, if you have one of these things, I mean, it's just, I mean, I use mine to get news every day from, CNN and CNBC and Tech Meme and all that sort of stuff. It's just a quick way to get the news read to you while you're, getting your computer set up and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I use mine to stream Songs of Experience to try to drive up chart posts, trying to bring it up to like number 199 next week.
A one-woman crusade.
Yeah.
Okay, so like true story, we weren't going to get an Amazon because people listen. So, or an Echo, sorry. Well, one showed up in a box. Somebody sent us one, and we have no idea who, and it's still in the box, like wrapped up.
Oh my gosh.
In the other room. But now I'm like, okay, we might just have to do it and just everybody is listening anyway because I have a phone and.
I would be a little more worried about a random box that showed up, and that one might listen extra special.
Especially in Texas, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it did. I knew it was from Amazon, but it was like, yeah. So.
All right, and also, which I think you would have heard on one of the news briefs, right, is about the U2 fan club gift announcement. Or maybe those too recent for the news.
No,
brief,
it was on the most recent one. Tasula recorded a news brief yesterday and got it in there.
I don't have any smart devices or smart people in my office, so. But Sherry or Matt, whoever, do you want to tell us about the fan club gift that was announced?
Sherry is our official fan club correspondent. So.
It's vinyl. It's it's not quite a replica, but it's a reimagining of a U2 3D promo release with some remixes from Rattle and Hum. So it's going to be delivered hopefully before 2019 with a gatefold sleeve and some prints from the era. So there seems to be a mixed reaction. Some people think it's cool. Other people think it's not so cool. Others are just questioning if they'll even receive it. So it just got announced on Tuesday of this week, and we'll see what becomes of it.
Are you speaking from experience there, Sherry, and receiving?
Just slightly.
Well, Fabiano in the chat
says
like still waiting for his 2017 gift. So yeah, that's.
I was one of the last ones to get the JT singles. They came in very recently, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, same for me.
So yeah.
I feel like I'm already re-upped for the fan club for like the next 4 years, though. Didn't I already do this? So do I automatically get this? I have no idea. They should.
You should.
I think they should explain that. So, anyway.
All 3 tracks will be available for digital download through the membership account. Don't know when that'll be, but that's their little gimme for the folks who signed up for the 2017 to 2018 subscription cycle.
There you go.
Well, I think it'll be pretty cool. I don't have the promo from back in the day, and so I will like it. But I think some people will be attracted to the fact that Julian Lennon is going to be part of it. Is that correct?
No, John Lennon, I think.
I mean, John Lennon's voice. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had Julian on the brain for a second. So that they sample, right? And so I think that'll be kind of cool. They did a couple of neat things to it. I don't know. We'll find out.
And the other thing is the U2's Claw, which from the 360 tour back in the day, apparently has been purchased and is getting new life in Utah, of all places, at an aquarium, which sounds kind of bizarre. There's a link in the show notes and on @u2.com, of course, to the full story, but where you can see a rendering of what it will look like. It's sort of like, looks like in, like a performance space / park or whatever, and people could use it, I guess, as a concert venue for smaller, 7,000 people watching or whatever. I'd have to think it would be kind of weird as a U2 fan who's seen the concert to then go and see it just like sticking up in the middle of a field in Utah. But I guess it's good, in the theme of like reusing, recycling. It's kind of good of U2 to make sure this thing doesn't just get thrown in the trash heap somewhere. But yeah,
all I could think of was the song title "Womanfish."
Wait,
why?
Why?
Because it's an aquarium.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Sherry, the queen of puns.
I missed this so much. Chris, when you go on
vacation, all this and more in Tulsa in a few weeks.
When you go on vacation this long, where do I get my U2 puns?
I don't know. I'm right? Sorry.
Well, anyway, the aquarium is logistically real close, from what I understand, to the Salt Lake City airport. So if anybody happens to be flying, and Salt Lake City is a Delta hub, so a lot of people stop by Salt Lake City on their way east or west. So you'll be able to see it even if you're not visiting Salt Lake City. You'll be able to see it as you fly in or out of the Salt Lake airport.
So you sort of wonder if in the future if this is going to be just another of the stops in the world of places to check out that are like on U2 fans sort of world maps of places to go. Dublin, and then Utah for the claw visit. Joshua,
I want to know who's going to be the first to put a Pink Adam sticker on it. Just saying.
I think that's your job.
Speaking of which, I got mine in the mail.
Oh, nice.
And I did get the shirt. I had to get the T-shirt, y'all. So
for the non-video viewers, Becky, sorry, I got a comment from Beth coming in, but Becky's got the Pink Adam stickers, which we'll have to. I'm sure we'll be making another appearance on this tour. Beth in the chat said an aquarium needs a claw like a fish needs a bicycle, which is another nice little.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
The lobster claw, the clam claws, or clams don't have claws, but if they did, they'd be underneath that stage. It's late. And I haven't had enough to drink.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another podcast.
All right, we have some listener questions because we've been away for a while, and you can send these in using hashtag #AskAtU2 on Twitter, and we'll do our best to make an uneducated guess as to the response to these as your token U2 experts, I guess, here. But Ken Cunningham at Ken Cunningham 3 said, do you think there will be any special guests on this leg of the tour, the first leg that's starting in, Sherry, how many days?
21
days.
Oh my gosh.
What do we think? Any guests, special guests? Probably depends on the city, right, as to whether there'll be, like an Eddie Vedder pops up in Seattle. Who else? I'm getting blank faces from everybody.
Who's going to show up in Tulsa?
I'm Googling famous singers from Tulsa right now.
I wouldn't rule it out as like a one-off up onto the East stage, but seeing as there's no opening acts for this tour, it'll be tough to really gauge. It'll be based on the night and the guest list. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Patti Smith show up or Lady Gaga or something along those lines in the respective cities. But I don't see anything different than what we saw back in 2015.
Mr.
McGee.
His hand.
I literally did start to Google that, and then I realized I was probably limiting myself too much by saying famous singers from Tulsa, so I changed it to famous people from Tulsa to be more likely to get a match. And the first person listed is Pamela Bach, the ex-wife of David Hasselhoff. So there you go.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
I think we're on to something.
I feel
and
smarter
David
already.
Hasselhoff. Oh, wait a minute. David Hasselhoff is big in Germany.
Huge in Germany.
Germany was the inspiration behind Achtung Baby.
Right.
There might be something there.
Could be.
Never know.
The Hoff is going to show up.
You heard it here first.
Well, and I think once we know like how the show's going to play out, you never know, right? And well, so we'll see. Yeah.
All right. At _40 Dancing Bear asked, will Blackout be played? What rarity would you like to see the lads play?
All right. I want to start on this one. Of course, the Blackout will be played, right? I think, and because that's a rockin' song. And let's see. They might even open with it. Who knows? Because it's kind of the opposite of the whole light bulb thingy that was going on for the last tour. So maybe they'll start with the Blackout this time, and it'll be just a rockin' start to the show. And anyway, as far as the rarities, I think everybody has opinions on this one, right? But I was thinking through a bunch today and what I have never heard. And I've never heard The Sweetest Thing, believe it or not. I don't think it's such a rarity, but some people have heard it. I would love to hear that. And a couple of others I thought about that are super random. Like I thought about this Salome, but really I went back, like looked at Passengers. I think it'd be kind of fun if they played Slug. Like that's sort of ethereal and musical. It probably would have fit better in the 360 tour because it was sort of spacey. Not the whole thing, just snippets. And then Three Sunrises or any of the, I think that would be neat. I did get to hear Your Blue Room when they were in Houston and they played that. And so that was cool. But there are so many.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Sweetest Thing would cover it. And I'd be real happy to hear that. And the other one, I have never heard them live. I just haven't been at the right shows, is All I Want Is You. So I guess I go for the sucker songs. Yeah. But they're so fun.
You have to think with
what do y'all
the,
think?
like, the Acting Baby stuff and Rattle and Hum era kind of stuff sort of maybe getting featured a bit, that some of the rare songs from that era will sort of also be featured. We'll see.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
I mean, there's so much from those sessions, right?
Yeah, I kind of wonder. I haven't paid close attention to any of the spoilers that are being posted. I think I saw a couple songs, and I know we're going to talk about that later, so there will be spoilers. So I could be totally off by even just saying this, but I wonder if they're even going to play anything from the 80s. Well, I guess Rattle and Hum would count as the 80s, and that. But like I made a prediction on Twitter some time ago that I don't think they're going to play anything from Joshua Tree this coming tour, and I just wonder if they'll like just let's not even play Unforgettable Fire, War. Let's not play any of that early stuff, and let's just play all post Joshua Tree stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool if they did. That would, I don't know, certainly be unique and different.
Yeah.
Seeing as they've been focusing now, I mean, you've got the 30th anniversary of Rattle and Hum that the website has already started promoting. You've got Pop. They actually put up on social media a whole bunch of stuff about Pop a few weeks ago. They've been dropping hints. So I could see this tour beginning with 1988 and then moving forward, whereas the past two have really been focusing primarily on everything up to 1987. And there's a bunch of stuff off of Rattle and Hum that for the U.S. audience, we haven't heard, you know. Hawk Moon hasn't been performed in the U.S. God Part 2 hasn't been performed in the U.S. So there is some big ones that a larger group of fans would know that aren't, you know, super rarities that could qualify as being just enough to satisfy a larger group of people. But there's always the 39,000 people who had said they wanted to hear Acrobat. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it would be pretty incredible if they had the guts not to do anything Joshua Tree. Obviously, the big, you know, Streets and With or Without You, you know, not being played. But yeah, it'd be fun because it gives just space and time, and obviously just even the production value of other songs that get, you know, like the 5.5 minutes or whatever it is for Streets that normally takes up in the concerts and all the production that goes along with that. I guess it's just red lights and bright lights at the. There's not a whole lot to it. They're good bright lights.
That's all it is.
I'm not dissing the.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah.
We can drop that, and Bono can talk for 5.5 minutes. I'm sure
exactly. And everyone will be happy. All right, at Mysterious Days,
Oh, yeah.
Vid asks,
Right.
what does augmented reality mean exactly? Holograms, audience wearing 3D glasses. So there's, I'll let you go in a second here, Matt, but I know like on an iPhone, for example, augmented reality, Apple's version of AR, instead of virtual reality where you're wearing glasses or goggles and like your whole vision, everything you see is in those goggles basically, and it's like a mini screen in front of your face, but you just can, and wherever you look, it changes what's on the screen. Augmented reality in Apple's world is generally those, you can think of your phone as those goggles, and wherever you point it around, it'll change what you see in the real world through the screen and camera of your phone. And so that's where I guess I'm not sure how U2 at a concert venue will take that on. And like I think Sherry had tweeted, and I had tweeted 1.2 about, hopefully it's not just like, here's your body with a new U2 shirt on it so you can test out the merchandise or whatever.
Or I've caught myself a Bono instead of a Pokemon.
Yeah. So, because there is like...
Can I catch Adam?
Wait.
Gotta catch them all.
I think that's are we doing that thing where we have candidates for the title? I think that's for the first candidate. I've caught myself a Bono instead of a Pokemon. Can somebody write that down?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Go ahead.
What were you going to say about augmented reality, Matt?
Oh, I was gonna. Somebody. All right. Well, okay. Somebody type out. I've caught myself a Bono instead of. So no, I mean it's a good question because the problem with the phrase augmented reality is that everybody overuses it and misuses it, and it means different things to different people, and everybody. Oh yeah, we're doing augmented reality. Well, you're not really doing augmented reality, and so you kind of never know what to expect when somebody says we're doing it. Because it may not be like what augmented reality really is. It's what you just described. It's taking reality, which is the environment you're in, and just augmenting it with extra information. So like you would like one of the early what's the word I'm looking for? One of the early applications of it was that you would be walking down a street, you'd have your phone, you'd shoot the camera at, say, a business or a row of businesses, and it would tell you right on the screen. It would augment your reality with, what's the Yelp rating, what hours is it open, what's on their menu, all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of like the early definition of augmented reality. Whereas as opposed to virtual reality, where you are like actually going into a different world, right? You're not like in your same world. You're like seeing and experience a different kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect it will mean for this tour because it's such an overused term. Yeah. I agree with the kind of like, would they do something where everyone has to take their phone out to?
Well, everybody's going to have their phone out anyway. Do you think that if you can't beat them, join them?
Except it's like it has to be an iPhone 7 or 8 or later. Like there is a technology requirement there too, an Android, whatever it is on, so like not just any phone will work, and so that's where it gets a little messy.
If it's only for iPhones, which, iPhone has the special red phone and there's always been that U2 Apple connection, but you would be segmenting a good portion of your audience because, I'm an Android phone user. So I would automatically be shut out of that.
You'll get it in 2010 or 2020, is when yours will arrive.
Apple Red 8 like this week, I think.
And the other thing I was just going to say is the other part of it, I hope it's not just this, is like some sort of gimmicky, like not that this was gimmicky, like the tour bus that you guys saw in Dublin with that was more virtual reality where you're like sitting and you can look around and stuff. And hopefully it's not just like a thing outside the concert venue that's like line up for an hour and you can see yourself next to Bono and, shake his hand or whatever on your camera or something. And like, that's what it is. And I think, they're always trying to figure out a new angle with technology in the actual live performances, and so it worries me a little bit because it feels a bit like, especially announcing it ahead of time like this, it's like the buzzword thing, and it's like your boomer kind of like trying to be hip and cool by saying we got augmented reality, kids, come out to our concert.
Well, yeah, I just got an email from Amex Music promoting Justin Timberlake's Outside In. Card member exclusive, a first of its kind mixed reality sight, sound, and shopping experience from American Express and Justin Timberlake. Watch Justin come to life all around you, interact with his new music, and shop exclusive Man of the Woods merch in your AR with your American Express card. Download the Amex Music app to bring Justin Timberlake's world into your home. So, I mean, I don't want my AR experience to be Adam showing me the latest in kimono fashions, if you catch my drift.
I think Becky does.
I do.
No, but that's right. I mean, that's the problem.
Cleanly.
It's been
sure
it's been so that phrase has been so overused that it almost means nothing now, right? Because everybody claims to be doing augmented reality and all this sort of stuff. I don't know. I kind of want, like Vid said in the question, does it mean holograms? That's kind of what I wonder if that's what it's going to be, because like they did a Live Nation's promo video for the tour, even had a screenshot or two where it looked like there was some kind of visual inside the arena that was not showing up on the screen itself. And so is that augmented reality? Well, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're...
And you've got a hologram of Roy Orbison touring London at the moment. So if Bono's having a sick day, would we just get a hologram of Bono bouncing back and forth on the stage?
We can only hope. At Bruner Caffey asked, so with this year's subscriber gift being Rattle and Hum, do you think this means there will be an anniversary special edition of the album in the fall? And will we ever get a proper special edition of Zooropa, which is turning 25 this year? I don't know. Sorry, I think I worry that they're going to be special editioned out, anniversaried out, and and maybe it's just like all marketing and record company promo stuff, but like how many, I don't know. Like they did a whole tour around Joshua Tree celebrating that. Are they gonna? It doesn't feel like a thing that U2 would want to keep doing. Is just like rehashing old stuff in that same vein, unless it's just like hey, here's a reissue of the 30th, like they've done in the past. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. The thing. I know sounds like we want to move along quick because we got a lot of other stuff. So I'll just say real quick. Number one, if they put something Rattle and Hum out, then they risk it might end up competing against a tour release from the EI tour, and they wouldn't want two things to compete against each other in the marketplace. And then number two, with Rattle and Hum, there's also the fact that last I heard it, some portion of the brand, the Rattle and Hum trademark brand or whatever, is owned by the movie company, owned by Paramount. So would that, I don't know how that would play into it either. So,
And if they were going to do it, then that would have been part of the 180-gram vinyl release, and they just did pop All That You Can't Leave Behind and Wide Awake in America. And you would have thought that would have shown up for Record Store Day coming up, but instead we've got Lights of Home picture disc. So I agree with what Matt said.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And at New Wave Dame had asked, do you think there will be last-minute ticket drops on this tour? It sounds like a Sherry. We go to our ticket drop correspondent, Sherry, live on location.
Well, there's still 27,000 tickets available across the U.S. at the moment. Wow. So there have been ticket drops for Red Zone and scattered production holds that have been released. GA normally gets a ticket drop the day of, and it's enough to satisfy the need of folks who are showing up. So yes, there will be, but there's still plenty of tickets available, especially for Tulsa, St. Louis, San Jose 2, Chicago 2, Uncasville. So with those
God bless
cities,
most people don't know where that
is. With those cities, what's been happening is they've been reducing the ticket prices. So some of the $330 tickets in LA for LA2 are now dropped down to $111. Some of the $100 tickets are now down to $41 if you don't mind being slightly behind the stage. So, it's a blue light special sale going on. I feel like I'm doing a Pop Mart ad right now in the lingerie section of the Kmart. But get those tickets today, folks.
Or you can just tweet at Beth and Bono and she'll find you some tickets like I did. That's another way of going. Hopefully.
Hopefully not behind the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Fionn Duffield asked, with you two saying they wanted to go down under, would we think there will be more North America and European legs as well in the future? Which I'll just preface by saying we all here at U2 really hope U2 goes to Australia, New Zealand, and that corner of the world without question, because they've had a long drought without the band being down there. The band has implied as much that they'd love to go, which kind of just either is like really encouraging or is like them saying, hey, look, we'd love to go, and they just leave off the but part. So hopefully it's the first and not the latter. So anyways, Matt, any thoughts about more North American, European legs?
Yeah, I think it makes sense if they do. When does this tour end? Like November in Dublin, right? And then they take time off for the holidays, and then maybe they go down under early next year, like February or so.
And that's summertime down there.
That's summertime down there, and then they come back and they do North America in the spring, and then Europe in the summer, and the tour ends at Slane next August or 2 Augusts from now.
Do you really think they would come back to North America?
Yeah, I do.
Especially with
especially with the way ticket sales are going.
I think the word
I think they'll do it differently.
Fatigue has been used a couple of times, and not to mention people need to replenish their bank accounts, etc.
Join the crowd. Yeah,
I know.
I mean, they're not playing the Northwest at all. They're still underplaying the Southeast. So
Yeah.
And there's lots of places in Saskatchewan they haven't played.
They have
they're
really
looking for
underplayed the Canadian prairies, haven't they?
Exactly. Even Calgary or
Chris,
some
you need to book them into your local arena.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. And no South America. Yeah. Fabiano says we don't have arenas that support the screen, which is an interesting sort of technical restriction, I guess. So maybe they'll send just a hologram of the tour down somewhere. All right, for the our roundtable, which it's kind of all bleeding together because we're rusty and out of practice on how this podcast thing works. But we're going to just talk about the new tour coming up, and which is now 21 days away, and as we talk right now, anyways, and in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And their band is rehearsing in Quebec, so there will be spoilers ahead. So if you're trying to abstain, we'll let you off here at this stop of the U2 podcast, and we'll be back in another week or two. Probably we'll talk about that later, but how quickly we're going to do another episode. We'll see how this one goes. If it's like sales of U2 tickets in LA, then we might have to...
Yeah, this could be the end of the road for the rate we're going here. This is,
So anyways,
no, you have to be a verified fan listener in order to get access to the next podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 79 at U2 podcasts out there. I think we have to ask ourselves, does the world need more at U2 podcasts?
That's a fair question. Maybe we'll just resume when the tour does and leave it at that.
We'll be talking about spoilers from what they've been doing, and so we'll see you again next time if you want to avoid spoilers, and we'll just have a moment of silence for spoilers right now. And so the one thing Canada does get on this tour is rehearsals. I guess that's
this and every tour, right?
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of financial reason for rehearsing in Canada, and specifically Laval. And so we don't actually have any at U2 correspondence, but who is it? U2 Songs that has got somebody.
They've been kicking it this time.
Mm-hmm.
So no Bjorn with the Periscope stream outside the stadium this go around. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to fly over to Laval for some reason. I don't know what.
And nobody set up a GoFundMe page for him, so that's okay.
It's a long way.
Man.
So I don't know where. Have you all been? Are you all spoiler free, or are you all? You're reading and Becky, do you want to get off at this point?
No. I'm
just
gonna
plug
let
your
it
ears?
go
Okay.
because honestly, it's gonna catch up with me anyway. I have been kind of staying out of the channel. I don't care. It's like it's
they
fine.
said. I mean, we can't be too surprised, right? Because they said Willie Williams, the Rolling Stone quote from Willie Williams said, songs that have never been played before. And if you just focus on the albums, there's only like 10 or 15 songs they've never played before. So you're kind of can't be too surprised.
Yeah.
No.
So anyway.
But it's songs plural. So there's the one obvious one, which 39,000 people, agreed
Acrobat,
with.
Which,
but what's the other one, or two, or three?
So Acrobat has been rehearsed. We'll just get that out of the way if you haven't heard already. That's the big one that lots of, myself included, I'm excited to hear it if they actually play it and how they play it and what they decided, how they work it into the set and all that kind of stuff, because I like the song on the album. But what else? Is there anything else that's like a big kind of shock to you that they've rehearsed already that you're really excited that they're rehearsing? Anything that's jumped out at you?
Now, well, like I said earlier, I haven't seen a full. I've been way too busy with real estate to be paying close attention. For those not watching the video, I just showed up the thinnest of the real estate books I have to read, which is 400 pages long. But have they rehearsed anything from the 80s?
Yes.
Desire.
Today they did. Pride.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really?
All right. So that kind of throws out my theory that they might not do anything from the 80s if that's being rehearsed. Okay. Interesting.
Huh. Well, just because they're rehearsing them doesn't mean they're going to play them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I believe given the current political climate in the U.S., they're going to use Pride strategically to push a theme.
Well, I think regardless of the political climate, I think they're going to play Pride because it was their first huge hit and it's the song that most of the audience expects to hear and all that sort of stuff. So, okay.
Yeah. So we'll name some of the songs anyways. Pride, Get Out of Your Own Way, American Soul, City of Blinding Lights, transitioning into or from American Soul are all being rehearsed. That was today as we record this. Acrobat, Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, Until the End of the World. Possibly The Fly, possibly Desire, The Showman, Vertigo, Lights of Home, Cedarwood Road, Song for Someone, not 13, they confirmed, and Who's Gonna Ride, Until the End of the World. So.
Yeah, back up to Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. That one I could get super fired up for. Mm-hmm. Yes, they teased that already. Yes.
They did. Please. Yes, they did tease
I hope they play it. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, they teased that on Instagram and stuff, right, on social media before. Mm-hmm. So, and they had it was a slightly different rhythm to it or feel to it than what they've had the album, anyways. So it's kind of cool. And longtime band consultant, friend of Bono's, Gavin Friday, is around, has been spotted. So, which isn't a surprise, given that he's often the sort of live stage consultant for how things are going. Hopefully, Bono's BS detector. So, yeah, and in terms of staging, even we have no real hints or tips or anything right now. There's nobody who's been able to crawl into the stadium somehow or anything like that. The assumption
or the
is
bushes outside.
Yeah, the assumption is that it'll be something similar to what we saw before, right? In the Innocence.
Well, they've already shown pictures of the barricade where they were. Techies were checking the lights, one goes out, they all go out, Christmas tree style. And all the Ticketmaster sites have been showing the same IE stage setup like what we saw in 2015. So I don't think that there's going to be any major differences in staging or that barricade. The difference is going to be, that wow factor when that screen turns on. Many of us will have already seen it. We've already seen how the band interacts inside of the barricade. So I think that going back to that augmented reality comment, I think that's going to be that Christmas present that will get unwrapped on opening night. And that'll be the big wow factor that people will be talking about. And then Willie won't talk about up until opening night.
Was there wasn't a screen per se in the back behind them, right? Or was nothing, right?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Because you kind of wonder the Joshua Tree stage that they had, which obviously was, very well designed for that specific tour, but that big screen that they had behind them, does that just go away to some aquarium in some other place or what?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's gonna be sold to a drive-in movie theater in Tucson, so we'll all be pilgriming there as well.
That
Matt,
could be cool.
At the time of the tour's announcement, didn't they say that the screen on that barricade was going to be even better than the screen from the Joshua Tree tour? It was certainly going to be better.
Oh, they got upgraded
on video quality than from 2015.
If they did, I missed it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe that technology is being incorporated
they always
into that.
look right. They like to have the latest and greatest and be the first out with some of these
software, hardware, and menswear.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, maybe not menswear, but yeah.
Kimonos still haven't exactly caught on, but
That's
Adam's
right.
still trying to make it go.
Yeah. He just wears those after the shows, walks around. Like,
you know this? That's the only time we
well,
really?
You've seen all the pictures, right?
Okay.
No, I do not know it personally.
The truth comes out. Becky knows when he wears the kimonos.
And at the In-N-Out Burger, or where? What was that? No, the Whataburger. Fatburger. Yeah.
Oh no, Whataburger. Yeah.
Hey, Whataburger right here in Houston. Let me tell you, that was hilarious. It's like when I found out that they went there, I cracked up. I was like, really?
Okay. Any other?
Good, though.
Any other like hopes, dreams, whatever things you're hoping to see for in terms of given what we know about the stage being the same, slightly upgraded screen, obviously new songs being played.
Yes, hold on a minute. Okay. All new super high res LED screen, 9 times the resolution of the 2015 screen, from U2.com.
All right.
Wow.
There you go.
It's starting to feel. It sort of feels a little bit like it's more of a press release from Apple or Microsoft with their new hardware than a band concert announcement.
Like, right? I know.
New and improved.
I mean, I'd like to think we're
screen.
going to walk in there, like we did for the 2015 show. Remember, y'all? We all just walked in there and we're like, our chins dropped and we're like, oh my gosh, when we saw that stage. And I hope we get the same kind of feeling with whatever it is they decide to do with it. And just, even though we know what it kind of looks like, we don't know what they're going to add to it. There's always that element of surprise. And, I hope we get to be like kids at Christmas again for that. And, I, for one, am really looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm excited.
All right. Sherry, Matt, anything else that you want to add or thoughts on the tour?
Not at this point. I'm good. I gotta pay more attention to the news, apparently.
I'm kind of wondering if they're going to be dropping Blake's poems instead of Dante's Inferno at some point in the show. If they're going to bring elements from 2015 back into 2018.
Yeah.
All right. Or something altogether new. Who knows?
Yeah. So 3 weeks to go. Very exciting. Can't wait to hear. And for those of you who are going in spoiler-free, I guess you're not listening to this at this point anyways, so enjoy the show wherever you are.
I hope not.
But what's in closing up, I guess, we've got just one thing we wanted to mention coming up in, Sherry, you can talk about, I guess, the U2 conference that's happening in 2018 here. What are the details?
Yeah, actually, we have 2 things coming up. First, we have the Eve of Experience event. If you're coming out to Tulsa, on May 1st, come and meet up with us from 9 to 11. All information is available on @u2.com. And for a U2 conference 2018 in Belfast, that's fast approaching too. I'll be there. Scott Calhoun will be there. Tim Neufeld will be there. Beth Nabby will be there.
Christopher.
Yes, Dr. Christopher Andrina will be there. So it's going to be a who's who of @U2ers who will all be present, along with who's who of the U2 community, including Catherine Owens, Steve Stockman, a particular woman by the name of, and I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong on this. Is it a Beth Nabby? She'll be there doing something about tattoos. And
selling tickets.
There's going to be a special talk between Andy Rowan and
Steve Stockman.
And Steve Stockman.
Yeah.
So Stuart Bailey. It's going to be a geek fest to end all geek fests, and I can't really wait. There's a rumor that there will be a special art exhibition of some Pop Mart era relics. That's not confirmed yet, but we've got our fingers crossed on that. December we'll be doing an event for it. So registration is open, and you can just go to u2conference.com for all of that wonderful information. And it's the first time that the conference has been brought over to Europe. So we're really hoping that our European friends will be able to pop on over to Belfast for the weekend and enjoy some great U2-iness.
And if you haven't done those, go. If y'all get a chance over there in Europe, it's so much fun, and you won't regret it. It's a lot of memory making. You make so many friends, and all the sessions are super cool. And Scott and company have done a fantastic job, as always, putting it together. I wish I could.
Yeah,
go.
and the full program's also up. It's chock-a-block full of in-depth discussion and analysis, and if you enjoy doing deep dives into U2, this is the event for you to go to.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you like this podcast, then well, I don't know which way to go with that, actually, but the conference will be even more in-depth, let's just say, and probably more well-produced.
A little more academic, should we say.
Everything has its place. We're all
That's
good.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Any idea, do you know what tickets are cost? What the ticket?
Registration is $200, but it includes a heck of a lot. All that information, once again, is available on u2conference.com.
And Belfast, even if never mind the conference, Belfast itself is a beautiful city. I've been there. It's beautiful just to tour around, see lots of history, obviously, lots of U2 history to check out, all that kind of stuff. So.
And the great thing is Norwegian Airlines is now flying direct to Belfast. So if you are in the New England area, you can get a direct flight from Providence to Belfast for under $500. Not bad.
That's pretty good. All right. Well,
Chris?
Yes, Matt, sorry.
Since this is our first one in a long time, did you remember to hit the record button?
Seriously?
I hope I did. We'll find out.
Just thought now might be a good time to remind you to record.
Now would be a good time to start that.
Good job, fearless leader.
If not,
excellent.
We'll have to reenact the whole podcast. But there's always the Twitch.
Matt, you're
Twitch
fired.
Video. Yeah. Speaking of, if folks want to send you a nasty tweet just for putting a little fear into my heart,
I love nasty tweets.
What's your where can folks find you, Matt, on the internet?
I am at iChris on Twitter. I can't even speak.
I heart nasty tweets. There you go.
Very
I'm
professional.
at Matt McGee on Twitter. Yeah.
And Becky, how about you?
At B Myers, MYERS.
And Sherry.
At U2Com Sherry, as always.
And I'm iChris. You can send me whatever you want. And but you can follow, more importantly, follow at U2 on Twitter, twitter.com/ATU2, facebook.com/ATU2com, and instagram.com/ATU2com. I don't know if we haven't posted in a while on the Instagrams, I don't think. But there'll be lots of...
don't get me started on that. Go ahead. Just go ahead and wrap up.
I think I just about got you started, but it was a false start. Lots of stuff coming, obviously, with the tour. And somewhere at some point, someone had asked about what's going to replace Meerkat, and I'm sure Periscope is still functioning and likely be a component
we don't
want to
let Live Nation know exactly what our plans are, so they can't stymie our efforts.
Hey folks, we've got augmented reality coming to the @u2.com site, so just watch for that with the new tour. You'll have dancing Matt McGee on your desk if you just install the U2 app. Just like you've always wanted.
Please,
it's like pop art all over again.
Like he's doing, yeah, right.
If anybody knows how to make a GIF, that would be the appropriate time.
Stick a lemon on there, and
I am a fantastic dancer.
All right.
Well.
On that note, we thank you for listening, and thank you folks who are watching. And sorry you had to see that as the last thing as we go out. And we'll see you again next time. You can find all the links that we talked about this episode in at goodstuff.fm/ATU2/79. Matt has thrown his microphone down and walked away. So that may be the last time you see or hear from Matt on the podcast. Adios.
Matt has left the building.
That was a different kind of mic drop.
I've never been so offended in my life.
Which part?
We didn't tell you to be wearing a bra with tassels and start dancing, Matt. Come on.
Oh,
My dancing was excellent. I don't know what the problem is.
All right.
So, Chris, did you record?
Yes. Yeah. There's a thing. There's a red light flashing and things happening. So, worst case scenario is
that instills a lot of confidence in me at this point.
right.
There's always Twitch as the backup, so we've got that. There will always be
There's a red light flashing and a lot of things happening. That's how you know you're doing a podcast.
Actually, just after we started, I got an email from Oliver, the folks behind Mimo, saying license has been extended. So,
Of course you did.
which I appreciate. If he's watching out there, happens to watch it, I really appreciate that. And I know, and we got some new followers actually on Twitch here. You never know if it's Nazi promoters or U2 fans on Twitch.
Or perhaps Maverick folks watching us to make sure that we're not talking spoilers.
Right. Beth Nobby, thanks for watching, Fabiano.
I bet people butcher her name all the time.
There's 13 folks watching right now, apparently.
Oh, Lord.
I'm so
We're
sorry.
on it tonight, y'all. We promise we'll get better. Yeah, you know.
So I've caught myself a Bono instead of a Pokemon. Is that what the
Oh my God,
title was?
that was
right?
great.
That works for me.
As long as I can catch Adam, it'll be great. Just saying. Okay, I'll stop now.
So how many are you guys all? I don't know if you don't have to discuss. We are still streaming, but Fabiano says he hopes to see any of you guys in Chicago. Will be my only stop in the tour in the U.S.
Aww.
Anybody going to Chicago? Or you don't have to say if you don't want to disclose
Not
your
at this
travel
moment.
plans.
Who said that?
Fabiano.
Oh, Fabiano, hey. If I get there, I'll let you know.
I guess that's a cross-country trek for you, right?
It's pretty straight shot up. It's further for him.
Yeah.
No, it's Tulsa, Boston, Uncasville for me.
God bless you.
Where's
I got
Uncasville?
seats behind the stage for Uncasville is in Connecticut. It is about 25 minutes north of Mystic and New London, Connecticut. It is about 20 minutes also away from Foxwoods Casino. So this is going to be at the Mohegan Sun Casino. That particular venue has overtaken the Hartford Civic Center now as the go-to place in Connecticut for arena shows. And it is super tiny. It is even smaller than the SSC Hydro in Belfast and 3 Arena in Dublin. So this is going to be the smallest venue that this tour will be visiting in North America for certain. And I think it's going to be the smallest one for the entirety of the first and second leg of the tour.
Sorry, Matt just got blocked for spamming the channel.
Oh, good. It wasn't me this time.
Are you serious? Did you?
So Uncasville is the name of the town. It's the Mohegan Sun Casino that they're going to be playing at. And
what is it, like 10,000?
There's only like 8,000 tickets.
Oh, 8, yeah.
And that includes the spots on the GA. So every seat is a good seat. Nice. What happened was fan club presale, you had your choice of pricing, But as soon as the ticket sale went live for general public, every ticket is at $325. Every ticket.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
And the way that the concert promoter Jim Koplik is presenting it is, you've got a very intimate show. It's unlike any other venue on the tour because every seat you're literally on top of the stage practically. So we are 3 rows directly behind Larry, directly center stage. I've never had that perspective for a show, so I'm really looking forward to it. But I mean, there's only going to be like maybe 800 people on the floor for GA for this because the venue is super tiny.
Cool.
So that's my little treat of a concert stop. So that's meant that I wasn't going to be going anywhere else.
It's right down the road for you at least, so that's good.
Yeah, practically. Yeah, it's about a 2-hour drive from our house.
I didn't delete your message, Matt. That's Nightbot.
I think you did.
Did it automatically.
Nightbot deleted the first one that that wasn't spammy.
Yeah, it times you out for 5 seconds, and then if you keep, it's just like a good parent. It says, "I'm gonna give you a 5-second timeout."
Somewhere else.
Oh man.
What's that?
I'm watching the Twitch stream now.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like 7 seconds behind us.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. What's it called? I have the app. I just couldn't find it.
On Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, just our good stuff _FM is the account that streams from.
Thanks.
But all right. Well, I'm gonna find out here if this recorded like it says it did, and get an episode out. When was the last good stuff?
It was January, I think, 29th with you and Chris doing a Theoretically Speaking.
Oh, yeah. 25th. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a little while ago. We were due for an episode.
We kept it under an hour. I think we did good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's true. I hope we see a bunch of people in Tulsa. We should.
Well, there's still 3,000 tickets left, so you can invite your friends.
Bring everybody you know.
Somebody at Maverick or wherever, Live Nation, is just like every time Sherry starts talking, like, please don't mention the ticket sales. Please don't. Oh, she mentioned the ticket sales.
No, we're trying to sell them.
For the people who are still on, I am really ticked off because Interscope Records on one of their websites claims that the start of the U2 tour is May 7th in San Jose. That's what they have up on the record label's website. And does that mean that they're looking at Tulsa and St. Louis as rehearsal dates, like what they sort of did with Vancouver for Joshua Tree?
Oh, boy.
And are they trying to not have people, not have industry people showing up at those two shows because there's still, 3,000 tickets available for one and like 4,000 tickets available for St. Louis? Do they not want people to see that? So I'm
sure
looking
it was
at
just a mistake.
Trip to Tulsa being like, great, I'm going to be seeing a freaking rehearsal show again,
I hope not, because so far
I'm
that's
sure
the
it's
only
just a mistake.
place I have tickets to, but I think so, right?
Who do we have to write to in order to complain? Do I have to go straight to
the dude that runs Interscope's websites that gets paid $11.75 an hour? That's who you write to.
Awesome.
Right?
They've just lost the password to their WordPress install, and they can't find it, and nobody knows who has the email address to reset it.
No, they're not even advanced enough WordPress at this point. They're still using, whatever it was from 10 years ago.
All right.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Everybody.
Thanks, everybody who tuned in live, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully it worked out okay. It seemed to be working. If you were watching and it ever was goofy or not, sorry, let me rephrase that. If the technology didn't seem to be performing properly, tweet at me at iChris, because I'd love to know. I mean, I'll watch a bit of the video, but I'm definitely not going to be rewatching the whole video. No offense to you guys.
Come on.
And we'll see you again.
It's
And hopefully,
quality content.
We'll probably skip a week and then do another one. And then once the tour starts, I think we'll be into regular weekly shows of some sort. Technology
and we'll have our probably daily news briefs on your Amazon and Google and Apple devices.
Yeah, I got to get on there.
And stop firing up when I say your name.
Okay.
Wasn't talking to you. Sorry. Just had to tell my.
And we'll also figure out what our opening night coverage will be if we hijack the Good Stuff airwaves or something.
Yeah, we could try and do something like that too, for sure. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's always fun. People like that.
One of these days, I'll convince Mr. Tim to come do a live stream. But anyways, on that note, bye, folks. Turning off the stream.
All right, guys. Yep.
Bye, guys.